Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily go-getterism number 885 for March 6, 2017. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about ear hustling, and eye problems. Ear hustling. Ear hustling is when you've been eavesdropping. You've been eavesdropping and running and telling that. You're eavesdropping and you're running and telling. See, if you were just eavesdropping, that's just one thing, because you can hear what's being said in the conversation and you might not tell anybody what you heard. You know, you may actually address the people who were talking about whatever and try to clear things up with them. But when you're ear hustling, that means that you were eavesdropping, you were listening in, and you took a portion of the story and you went back and told somebody about it. As we know, that can cause a lot of problems. And some people don't seem to understand that once you gain a reputation for being the blabbermouth, for being the one in the know, that go-to guy that knows everything that's going on with everybody, first of all, that's not a very commendable thing for a man to be. But I do know some men that are like that. I consider that to be a female trait. And I don't think that that's a commendable side of any female. I mean, I think that people should mind their business. But for the people that can't mind their business, and that covers an awful lot of people, not minding your business is one thing. But going around and telling things that you have heard, heard people say when they were talking in a private conversation, well, that's going to open up another can of worms for you. Probably a can of worms for you that you would rather have kept closed. But people don't learn their lesson. So this is what happens with the ear hustle. You hear a conversation going on between somebody, whether you hear them talking to somebody on the phone, or whether you hear them talking in person, or whether you hear them talking in the next room. The thing is, you don't normally hear the whole conversation. You don't hear the entire conversation. You take a piece of the conversation, the part that you did hear, and you put together the rest of it to paint a picture, to put the whole pie together, even though you only have a few individual slices. So you go back and tell somebody what you heard, and you know how people do it. Well, between me and you, I ain't supposed to know this, but blah, 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 blah. Keep that under your hat. And they do that for about 10 people. So ain't no keeping it under your head. You done told everybody what's going on. You can't hold a grape. But you didn't really want to hold a grape anyway. You wanted to tell. Because that makes you look good. You look like that person that's looking out. You look like that person that's concerned. People hide behind the facade of a whole lot of noble shit when in all reality, they just like to stir the pot. They like to see some shit going. That's why sometimes when people who ear hustle, when they get their hands slapped, I be kind of like, well, you get what you give, right? I don't say that that's karma, because that's not karma. I don't know what karma is, but karma is good and bad energy. So I can't say that because you did something wrong, karma is paying you back. That's not the way karma works. People throw around the word karma too much. And we had a video on karma, a few months back, but people don't hear me though. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand the words that we're using, just the same way that we need to understand the conversation that we were listening to when we start ear hustling. And ear hustling ain't the only problem. We also have people with eye problems, they eyewitnesses. The problem with their eyes is that they saw something and they're going back and reporting what they saw, but they didn't really see what they saw. Sometimes they did. Like eyewitness accounts of things are reliable to people on the street. But if you notice, eyewitness accounts in court don't always hold up. That's because when people see things and they're under duress, or they're under a stressful situation, or they're afraid, sometimes what they see is different than what they actually experienced. Or what they experienced is a lot different than what they actually saw. So it's like when somebody sticks you up with a gun, You know, people will tell you, he had this gun and the barrel was this long. And then you find out the gun that was used, it was like a snub nose 38, barrel this long. But when that thing is in your face, that chrome or that black steel is in your face, yeah, it looks a lot longer than it really is, because you see your light flashing between, before your eyes. And that's the problem with eyewitness accounts. Our adrenaline is pumping. Our fear is coursing through our veins. We're afraid, and sometimes we don't see what we see, or we're angry. We see things when we're angry, and we see them in a certain kind of way. So let's say you see the person that you love, and you see them with somebody else. They may just be giving somebody a ride or something like that. But to you, oh, they hooking up. They on their way to the hotel. They just came from the hotel. He just kissed her. She just, oh my God. And that ain't what's going on at all. Sometimes it can be what's going on. It can be. But I tell you what, for all my people who bear witness to things, one of the best ways to be sure that you saw what you saw is to make that approach to whatever you saw at that time. Because later on, that shit ain't going to hold up. People know how to lie. So they're going to find their way out of that situation. They're going to find their way to excuse themselves from whatever you saw. So you see your man or your woman in a restaurant, and they eating, they seem to be having a great time, they busting it up and they chilling, and you decide, no, I'm not going to step to them right now. But I saw the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is, when they get back to the crib, I'm going to have all their shit packed and all that kind of stuff, sort of like, I saw you and him walking in the rain. Yeah. But when you get back to the crib, the whole story going to change. That could have been a business associate that they were, whatever the case may be. Because it could be the case that they were actually together romantically on a date. But you needed to find that out right then and there. Because after a while, if somebody is really good with their tongue piece, it'll have you thinking that you didn't see what you saw. But that's what happens when you have eye problems. But that's not even really the real problem. The problem with eye problems is that people are reporting what they saw somebody else do that wasn't none of their business in the first place, that didn't concern them in the first place, that didn't have anything to do with them, and they should have kept their mouth shut in the first place. They don't hear me though. Anyway, I'm sorry, yo. My sinuses are acting crazy. I don't sniff coke, so if y'all thinking like the boy be sniffing, he be no. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't sniff coke. I don't do nothing. And I never have sniffed coke. I used to smoke a little weed back in the day. You go. Anyway, these ear hustlers and these eye problem people, they're not what I would consider to be the real problem in society. Because the real problem are the people actually doing things that need to be ear hustled and eye problemed. But the only thing I really wanted you to get out of this video is make sure that you have your facts straight when you go back and tell somebody what you heard or what you saw. And make sure that you have the authority to be running back and telling that. Because if you don't have the authority, you need to keep your mouth shut. Because it's not going to come out right for you. It never comes out right for the person that's snitching and telling and being the good guy. It just doesn't. But is that going to stop anything? No! Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, when it comes to the ear hustling and the eye problems, make sure that you have your ducks in a row. Make sure that you have your story straight. Make sure that you know what you're talking about and that you choose what you talk about very, very wisely. Because if you don't, it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, and you gonna be feeling like all I was trying to do was help. All I was trying to do was do the right thing and make sure that my people ain't get hurt. And that was making it look like I was just minding somebody's business, and I was just trying to cause trouble, and I wasn't trying to cause no trouble. The Daily Go Get 'Em Business Show is every single day, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Calling number is 319-527-6199. Log on and listen to the entire show the same way. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace. Peace.